If you had played Plants vs. Zombies 2, like, ever, you probably know this guy, the Snapdragon. Since his appearance, he has been in Garden Warfare and Battle for Neighbor. He's a pretty solid plant for when you're playing through the game, being able to shoot in adjacent lanes up to 2 tiles away. But the plant food is what shined through, since it can almost wipe out anything in the 6 adjacent lanes he shoots in. The Snapdragon has 2 other variants, with one being locked behind a $4.99 paywall, and the last one releasing in 2024 and needs 250 seed packets to unlock. They have different tweaks, but overall they have the same concept as they shoot in the lanes around them. Now I wanted to see if I could get this magnificent trio together and beat the game without any losses. The rules are the same as always, only level 1, no power-ups, only these 3, no sun producers, etc, etc. As the easy days play in the back, a lot of you may not even know what the Dragon Brute does. Dragon Brute is a 200 some plant that can, you guessed it, shoot in the adjacent lanes. I don't know why he needs 3 heads for it and the others don't, but good for him, I guess. Anyway, unlike the others, he can shoot all the way down the lawn and does a good amount of damage. His shots can do 100 damage, and to put it in perspective, a 3-peater shot does 20 damage, or just a P does 20 damage, and it also shoots in adjacent lanes. Although the Dragon Brute does need a couple of seconds after each shot, whereas the 3-peater shoots pretty fast, but that's besides the point. His plant food is where he hits every zombie on the lawn with a shot that does 20 extra damage than the normal one, which is pretty good, but I'd say we would be better off using it on the other 2, since both of them can wipe out like anything. Now his random ability is when he gets eaten, he like blows up and 3 random babies fall from the sky and seemingly fall on random tiles. Now these babies do 30 less damage with their shots, and they also have splash damage on their way down, even though they probably would just get squished if they actually fell on a zombie. Dragon Brute is also a concealment, so it is at its best potential when used with the shadow plants, but that's kind of too bad for him. Now for the other 2. They're basically the exact same, other than one makes the other one completely useless. Yes, I'm talking about the Cold Snapdragon. He does everything the regular Snapdragon does, except slow zombies, and the plant food also freezes zombies for a few seconds. Being the same amount of sun, this basically makes the regular Snapdragon completely outclassed by his counterpart. Just don't be sad when you don't see him used as much as everybody else. Now I am going to admit the Cold Snapdragon should probably be like 300 plus sun, but you know, I'm just playing with the hands it gave me, okay? Now Ancient Egypt of course isn't like hard at all, but this trio is actually like goated no matter what world, I feel like, because like we have a plant to completely slow down everyone that comes around with only 2 of them, since they shoot in the adjacent lanes, and we can put the Dragon Brute all the way in the back to slowly chip away while all the other zombies are being slowed. And the torch zombies of this world get immediately extinguished by the Cold Snapdragon, so their torches are unlit and stuff. But I put a Snapdragon right beside the Cold Snapdragon, and like every time the Snapdragon would shoot and it freezes them, the Snapdragon would just shoot and unfreeze them. So I don't know, it's not really helping the Snapdragon's case right now. Now one thing our team does struggle with a little bit is high health targets. I know I just said that the Dragon Brute does a lot of damage, and it does, but with no sun producers, it's hard to get enough down to actually do enough damage to the coffin zombie, for example. So we do have to use plant food on the coffin zombie a lot of the time, but thankfully so far we've had enough plant food going around to use all that. Or if it's just been a really long level, we'll have enough down to take care of them pretty easily. The Cold Snapdragon and the regular Snapdragon, to give him some credit, really take care of the gravestones really well, since they can hit the gravestones and buff the zombies at the same time, and in about like 30 seconds take out the gravestones in front of them. So our side of the lawn is always like squeaky clean. Also got the Snapdragon some playing time at the very end. Day 16 nothing really happened. Like really nothing happened. Day 18 the Plan Your Defense level was a very satisfying looking setup. You know, if you give me enough sun, I'll throw some in there. Day 20 we had to protect endangered plants, and they messed up giving us sunflowers. The last day was a Plan Your Defense, and if you couldn't tell by this monstrous setup, we had enough firepower to take care of the coffin zombies. That is one very easy world down with only like 11 harder worlds to go. Other than this one zombie getting by and making babies with my Dragon Brutes, there's nothing really too crazy about this level other than the unexpected like swinging zombies that we need to watch out for, but other than that, these earlier worlds are going to be a piece of cake. Now I did not expect this to be a problem. I mean, like, who expects this to be a problem? But our Dragon Brutes do not shoot the seagull zombies at all. Like, why do they not shoot them? Like, I don't understand. Like, every other lobbing slash like catapulting plant hits them, but not Dragon Brute. So our only way of dealing with them is using a plant food for like no reason, or having 2 Snapdragons down since one Snapdragon tank can't take care of them without getting eaten. I'm saying all this, but they're not really a big issue throughout the world. I just thought I should let you know. Day 10 have the barrel pusher zombies and the imp cannons, and both of these get countered pretty hard by the Dragon Brute, which the Dragon Brute can shoot the imp cannons, but not the seagull zombies. And the Dragon Brute usually takes out the zombie pushing the barrel before it explodes with imps, so it's not really that difficult to deal with. Not a lot of the rest of these levels for this world are very interesting. I mean, this level looks really interesting, but it really wasn't.
Oh my god.
In this level, one of our Snapdragons got taken away by a parrot mid-attack, which was pretty cool, I guess. Now for day 22, which is just like the 20,000 imp cannons, which like every challenge I do eventually like loses on for some reason. But if you have a brain, brain? You know this level is going to be pretty easy for the dragons. Not only do the Dragon Brutes actually go for the imp cannons so they destroy them before they explode everywhere, but 2 lines of cold Snapdragons completely counter like everything, and only like 1 cold Snapdragon got taken out in the end, I'm pretty sure. Also, Dragon Brute with its plant food hits every single zombie in the battlefield, guaranteed. So it literally shoots 1 projectile at every imp cannon that's on the field. So like my game lagged for a second whenever I used its plant food. Now I also did it with the regular Snapdragons just to like be inclusive, I guess. But yeah, he also did a pretty good job, but he did a little bit worse than the Colt Snapdragons, while we lost 2 of him instead of just 1 of the Colt Snapdragons. But we still won, so that's what matters. Day 24 is the last level, and it wasn't really that hard. I mean, this imp cannon nibbled on our sleeping bean just a little, but Colt Snapdragon put him down enough where we could kill him before he fully ate him. So with that, that is the last level of Pirate Seas, and now we are on to the Wild West. The first special Wild West enemy, the old man that jumps behind you, didn't really do anything.
That's it?
I mean, I thought to myself, and he kind of seemed like a problem at first because we don't really have anything to like deal with him once he jumps behind us. But in these earlier levels, Dragon Brute takes him out like almost immediately. And if he doesn't, if there's a lot of zombies coming and he's like all the way in the back, I can just use my plant food on Dragon Brute and he can one-shot him. Also, there's a small chance that the dude can jump behind, eat a Dragon Brute, and then a baby land on him and kill him. But yeah, that's just like dream, I guess. Now day 6 had the piano zombies, and we dealt with them pretty well, but of course we did, since it was a planar defense and we had like 6 Dragon Brutes on the field. But I feel like in later levels, when it's not a planar defense, the piano zombies will be a little bit harder to deal with. We might have to use some plant food on them, but right now, not that hard at all. Next thing we had to deal with was the chicken zombies, and they're actually like easy to deal with, to no one's surprise, since, you know, we have the Snapdragons. Don't let this clip fool you. This was like really bad, but like the key to stopping them is just like not using a regular Snapdragon like I did, and using a cold Snapdragon. Who would have guessed? Because it slows down the chickens and the chicken zombie. There actually is still a problem against the chicken zombie. If the Dragon Brute shoots the chicken zombie first and releases all the chickens, sometimes the cold Snapdragon won't react in time and let a chicken get by. Like in this situation, it actually got by, and of course it was the lane without a lawnmower already. So yeah, we lost the first attempt with this one. We took the loss way too personally and literally just created 2 whole rows of cold Snapdragons, so there was a guarantee that no chickens would get by. And we actually used this strat like more than once, so get ready to just see a whole bunch of cold Snapdragons. Day 18 was a level we really struggled on with the Only Hypno challenge, and I know this has like nothing to do with the Only Hypno challenge, but I'm just saying this level is extremely hard because of all of the chicken zombies and because of the amount of old men that jump behind. But this level is extremely easy if we just place 2 rows of cold Snapdragons up really high, because if you didn't know, cold Snapdragons can extinguish the flame on the old man's dynamite so he doesn't jump behind if you freeze him at the beginning. And 2 rows of cold Snapdragons like take out the chicken zombies guaranteed, because they're already shooting the chicken zombies, so they take out the chickens like basically as like sloppy seconds or something. So this very hard level was actually like the easiest level so far. None of the rest of the levels with the chicken zombies were really that hard, including this one, because every level with the chicken zombies, I basically just put a whole row of snapdragons and it took out every single one of them. Now this last level, we did have to fend all these walnuts from these bulls, but they gave us enough plant food to take out like a lot of the bulls with the plant food, and I also just moved the walnuts out the way whenever they got too close. Now for the last world of the video, the Frostbite Caves. Now I'm gonna cut the umbilical cord right off and say that this world was the easiest of the 4 worlds. Not only does our cold snapdragon not get frozen against the wind or the snowballs at all, but neither does the regular snapdragon, since he actually heats up. So not only do we have a dragon that resists everything and is really good, but we also have a dragon that can defrost our dragon brutes when they need it. So Snapdragon actually has an actual use in this world. But if you understood everything I just said, you know how easy this would make the world. The only thing that was even harder about it was the fact that the weasels have more health than the chickens, but even then, they didn't do anything. So I'm just going to go over some levels that were interesting, or I learned something, or had a lot of zombies. I learned very quickly in this world that the dragon brute can't shoot the dodo bird while it's flying either. I don't know, it's just something about flying zombies, like the dragon brute just can't comprehend shooting at it. So since the most of the time the dodo bird is flying, the dragon brute basically just like can't hit it like at all. It probably doesn't help him at all that the dragon brute literally just doesn't have any eyeballs. That can't be good. On day 11, the level where they only let you pick 2 plants, I realized that bringing the dragon brute along means that I would have to bring the regular snapdragon because of all the freezing winds, but I really need the cold snapdragon to resist the wind, so the only option I had was to bring the cold snapdragon and the regular snapdragon. Although, if you couldn't tell by the screen right now, the regular snapdragon didn't really get any playing time. We do need to use a cold snapdragon plant food on every like ice cube headed zombie because they have just like way too much health. But like our 6 cold snapdragons can take care of regular bucket heads, but thankfully we had plant food every time for the ice heads. We go from day 11 all the way to day 27. Now this, I just want to show you this. This is the best setup imaginable for this challenge, and for the, well, just for this world for this challenge, because we have 2 snapdragons in the back to defrost all of our dragon brutes, and then we have an absolute impenetrable wall of cold snapdragons, and we dealt with 2 gargantuars with it. The last level of the world is a planar defense level, and while this impenetrable defense is doing its work, I am going to say that, or I've never seen plants from a challenge be this in sync. I mean, like, I'm sure PopCap didn't do this on purpose, but these plants were like made to be with each other because like they work so well together. It's insane. And I don't think the first 4 worlds have ever been this easy for any other challenge, so I kind of have high hopes for this, honestly. Let's just hope it doesn't end on something like the dark. Next 4 worlds have a wider range of zombies, but that isn't going to necessarily mean it's going to be harder for us at all. But let's just see what gave us the most trouble in these next 4 worlds. The Lost City sun tiles are obviously going to be a big help since we can't use sun producers in these levels, so it'll give us a little bit extra sun to have some more defenses. Our levels are just shovel heads, bucket heads, all the usual stuff, but if you couldn't already guess, our dragon brute cannot hit the umbrella lady since he is a lobbing plant. And that's not even really an issue because obviously we always have cold snapdragons down either like first, or we always have a lot of them just everywhere. But Lost City isn't like a huge problem at all until you get to the later levels. Now the first zombie of Lost City that actually made me have to like redo my entire like plan of who to place and what I need down is the freaking dragonfly zombies, which I don't know why these stupid dragonflies have so much health. Like it takes like 2 to 3 snapdragons to actually take care of the dragonfly before the dragonfly gets past them. But not only that, then they drop a full health zombie. Also, if you use plant food on these guys while the dragonfly is still alive, it doesn't kill the zombie that it's carrying, like, at all. So, yeah. But it's even more frustrating when it's carrying a bucket head, and I have to have 3 snapdragons to deal with the dragonfly just so it doesn't get past, and then it drops a full health bucket head. Like, literally how? And then the cherry on top is literally just the fact that our dragon brute can't even shoot this dude. Like, the shots just go over him. Why isn't Dragon Brute programmed to hit flying zombies at all, bro? Like, this can't be on purpose. If it is on purpose, like, why? So yeah, basically just another level where I have to prioritize having massive lanes of cold snapdragons instead of actually being diverse with my options. So thank you. Now I would say the tent zombies that just spawn like infinite zombies are actually way easier than the dragonfly zombies, because I mean the tents do spawn bucket heads every once in a while, but all the tents are like clumped up, and snapdragon plant food can get extreme value here and it wipes out everything. Also, is it just me, or like the snapdragon, like the regular snapdragon's plant food, seem like it does more damage than the cold snapdragon? Like, it just seems like it does a lot more since it like burns everything to ash, but you know, maybe it really does do more damage, guys.
Bro, what the fuck are you even talking about?
Now the rope swinging zombies obviously are pretty annoying, but we really just have to place all of our units like one tile back, so all of our cold snapdragons are just one tile back, like I just said. But these guys have way too much health for like no reason. I've noticed that they have like the same health as like a cone head for some reason, or even more than that. It has to be like plot armor or something, because they're literally just wearing a hat. Now the last special zombie of this world is the old mans with the skeleton that literally just like obliterate what's in front of them.
Hey, Brody, hold on.
Oh shit.
Now these guys like themselves aren't really hard to deal with, because we just can't really let them get all the way down the lane, but when they do get all the way down the lane, they get pretty annoying, because if they just have like bucket heads and all these other zombies in front of them and we can't deal with them, they can just slowly obliterate everything for all the other zombies. Now my first attempt, we ended up losing because we had every lawnmower except for the top one, and we just basically like slowly lost to a bucket head, which is great, you know. But the reason why we didn't have a lawnmower up there was yeah, because of a dragonfly zombie. The next attempt, we actually took out the dragonfly zombie and stopped it from taking out the lawnmower, and since that one domino didn't fall, the rest of the game went really smoothly and went our way, and we actually didn't even end up losing any lawnmowers in the end. So the last level of Lost City was just the old man, but combined with a bunch of gargantuars. I don't actually know what's like going on my screen right now, but we ended up making it all the way at the end with all of our lawnmowers, so we just let the Jenga tower fall. Now I can go ahead and tell you right now that Far Future is going to be way easier than Lost City. Not only does it provide so much plant food, but with the power tiles it just makes it 10 times better. I know high health targets aren't really our thing, but with enough cold snapdragons we can beat anything. And it's really only one plant food to take out like any robot, so as long as we always have a plant food on us, we should be good. Also, Dragon Brute still cannot target the jetpack zombies. What's good about it is though that Dragon Brute's projectiles have splash damage, so if there's any zombies under the jetpack zombie, they'll still get hit by it. Also, I think this is the first time in history where the robot zombies blocking shield actually does something. Like, Dragon Brute is getting like crazy countered these worlds. Now levels like protecting the 3 Citron are not hard for this challenge. Unlike the Only Zomboids challenge where we had to use multiple plant food to take care of the conehead robots that were like eating on our Citron the whole time, all it takes is one cold snapdragon plant food and it completely stalls them because it freezes them and the Citron can get the finishing blow off, and then we basically just have to deal with the zombies in the other 2 lanes. But yeah, surprisingly extremely easy. Now the levels with the big bad pusher robot zombie or whatever that thing is called. Now this level was really easy, but I don't think it was easy because we're really good at taking him out. I think it was easy for other reasons. The next level with them in it was a plan your defense level, and now this was just complete domination. I mean, we had all 4 plant food by the very end, and with the 2 power-up tiles in the same row and 3 conehead zombies, or 3 conehead robots going in the same lane, we basically just used 1 plant food to take them all out, and same for the red pusher zombies. And then the Gargantuar got frozen like mid-laser somehow, but yeah, he went down pretty easily after 2 plant foods. Now for the Dark Ages, which of course we have to use sun producers since we don't ever start off with 150 sun, and we couldn't have any more than just like 1 plant even if we did. Now the Jesters do work on us since we have Dragon Brute, which shoots projectiles, and honestly with the levels with the Jester after this one, I just like didn't use the Dragon Brute because I don't want to go through the trouble of the Jester actually getting like value or anything. Dark Ages is just like super easy. I mean, it's literally just like build a wall of snapdragons and use plant food on high health targets. And I know that sounds like every world and like what you should be doing in like any strategy, but this one is actually like seriously like super easy, and that's all that I was doing. Like I could probably beat Dark Ages on this challenge like while playing like Cuphead or something. Wait, somebody write that down. Day 7 has the night helmet zombies, and we can counter it easy with, you guessed it, plant food, or in this special case, 6 cold snapdragons. The potions level that boosted all the zombies basically did nothing because the cold snapdragon just put them back to their normal like speed and stuff. And this was what I meant when I said if there's a jester in the level, I didn't put down any more dragon brutes. Keeping the puff shrooms alive was pretty easy, and I know the only problem would be like the wizards, so I kept 2 snapdragons at the very front, 2 on each of the middle side tiles, so I could easily get plant food off on both sides for the wizards, so they didn't give like any value at all. And I even did it for the helmet zombies too. So obviously night 14 we can't do without the sunbeam, but I mean, we as a PvZ community don't count this level, right? Like, this is not a real level. Of course, the fat gluttonous king makes his debut, and he basically just turns like any zombie into like a majestic night zombie. And our defense is just crazy good this level. We have 2 rows of sun shrooms, so we can have like 3 rows of cold snapdragons, because you know it takes like 6 of them to take a knight down without the knight actually like eating any of your plants. But also we always kept dragons at the very front to take care of the wizards as soon as they spawn, because wizards, if they're on the field for too long, can really snowball your whole lawn into just being sheep, so can't let them get too far down the lane. Now Neon Mixtape Tour is like top 2 easiest worlds of this video. Now Neon Mixtape Tour relies on fast pace, big swarms to take you out, and our team is kind of like anti-swarm if I had to say anything about it. So Neon Mixtape Tour as a whole is like pretty easy. The girls on the skates are pretty annoying just because they have a lot of health, and it kind of defeats the purpose of our cold snapdragon be able to hit multiple zombies at once when she's just like blocking for everybody. On day 12 there were Mike zombies and a Gargantuar at the end. The Mike zombies didn't really do anything because we took him out before he got close. And the Gargantuar, we just literally used 2 plant foods on him at the very end. The next few levels were pretty simple, just like a few big hordes. The plan your defense level on day 24 was very satisfying because we literally just destroyed everything. Now getting into these last couple of levels here with the boombox zombies that just like make all my like plants fall in love, I guess. Now these levels aren't hard because I second attempted them. Just because I lost a lawnmower at the beginning of it, and at the end, of course, it was the lane that got overwhelmed the most. Now, the last level of this world with the boombox zombies again was actually easier than the last, so of course we beat it, but the only Dragons Challenge has not been deemed impossible yet. We have beaten the first 8 worlds without a single loss, unless you count that Dark Ages level. Now it is time to see if this challenge can go undefeated or brutally lose multiple times in a row. Let's get into it. Jurassic Marsh is going to be a huge problem for us. They have their equivalent to the helmet zombie in Dark Ages, the Triceratops skull zombies, which just have a booty ton of health, and the raptors kicking them. This just honestly seems unfair, dude. They gave us a little mercy because they threw them at the end of the level. These guys are literally in like every single level going forward, so yeah, we're kind of cooked. Level 6 had the Stegosaurus and the raptor, but it was also very simple compared to the evil burger level we had before. But really we just had plant food, which is the reason we win like any level nowadays. Day 10 already had a crazy amount of zombies and dinos, including the pterosaurs. I don't know why this was like a big brain play to put the dragon brute where the pterosaurs were flying zombies in at. I guess I thought that the baby brutes would spawn behind them at the beginning of the line and like kill them right after they killed us, but they low-key just got obliterated immediately and went to the front of the line. I keep trying to use the dragon brute, but the more and more I use him, it becomes more obvious that bro cannot handle like any world past the Lost City. The next attempt we lost every lawnmower, and when the final wave came, I had the Snapdragon send every zombie at the top back to the grave, and also sent the Snapdragon immediately back to the pot. But then even after a sacrifice, our cold Snapdragon still needed to defend a bucket head and a skull head, and I would probably need like 20x the amount of Snapdragons, so I just The difference maker was that we just didn't use the dragon brutes. Day 12 we couldn't lose 6 plants, but that wasn't the part I struggled with at all. I know the 6 Snapdragons up on the screen was looks like I'm going to go crazy, but these zombies weren't easy pickings. The first flag threw 6 bucket heads at me. It seemed like every attempt I tried I would always lose the top and bottom lanes to the bucket heads. Now this usually isn't a big problem for me because I lose like every lawnmower at the end of every level. The 2 lanes that seemed inevitable to lose the lawnmowers on are the same 2 lanes that gargantuars come on at the end of the level. I even used 2 plant foods on one of them just to see what it would take, and it still didn't take out just one. I had an attempt where I had the top lawnmower left and took out the gargantuar but not the bottom lane. The only way to beat this level was to buy plant food and don't tell anyone or keep my lawnmowers till the end of the game. After many trial and errors and honestly just really lucky probably, we had the lawnmowers for the last flag and took out the gargantuars. Next, protecting the primal walnuts was very easy since the gargantuar didn't come in those lanes. Day 18 had the T-Rex, which I was thinking didn't matter that much since the slowing effect cancels out the speed boost the T-Rex gives them. But sometimes the cold snapdragons will literally just be like on that snake lily timing and completely shut their brain off as one is running past them. Besides that, we also just lost like every plant as soon as we placed it down because of the massive amounts of bucket heads and skulls. Like literally later in the level, 90% of the zombies are bucket heads, bro. And we had 3 dragons and they were all at the bottom 2 lanes. One attempt though, I barely made it to the last wave with all of my lawnmowers intact, so I just let the wind take me. Then day 19 was a conveyor belt level. However, Snapdragon was actually in this level, so I tried to beat it. But we couldn't let them cross the flowers and the last wave was a gargantuar and we had no plant food. I thought all hope was lost until he cooked himself by throwing an imp, which caused the lawnmower to take him and the gargantuar out. All the way in day 25 was torture, and that is because of a line of Ankylosaurus. I had probably 30 attempts on this level until I finally beat it. The reason for that is that the fact at the beginning of the level they have an Ankylosaurus push a zombie immediately all the way down to the second to last tile. At the same time, we have a zombie at the top boosted by the T-Rex, and we never have time to place 2 Snapdragons. Not only that, but if the zombie is bigger than a Conehead and Ankylosaurus pushes it, we literally can't kill it unless we use plant food on it. We always end up losing the top lane, and every time there would be 2 skullheads that got pushed by raptors and they just slime us out at the end. If I'm going to be honest about how I won, I can't, because I honestly don't know. I was just like 30 attempts in and just trying random dookie and somehow it worked. So yeah, hooray, I guess. Day 26 is just the same thing except we can't play on the first 2 tiles. I'm just going to come out and say it, this is the first impossible level.
That's it?
I hate to say this, but this is actually I literally can't deal with any zombie pushed by the Ankylo, and if I have 2 plants on the lane, one gets knocked off. Like I literally don't know what I could do different, because sometimes my plant food doesn't even hit them because they get hit barely behind them. So is that it? A promising challenge run ends with just 1 impossible level. Well, you're gonna want to see the rest of the video. It gets really bad. And I'm not exaggerating. Day 27 we produced so many babies, infertility is a thing of the past. Day 31 was absolutely unfair, but since everything went by so fast, the MVP was the lawnmowers. Let's play a game. How many times do you think I actually placed the regular Snapdragon? The answer was 4 times. Good job. How many zombies did he kill though? Now starting with this planar defense level on day 12, everything is pretty smooth and crispy. Our team is about to show their real weakness, however. Oh gosh, it's about to get bad. Day 13 we had to produce some, but since there are no you-know-who zombies, it was pretty easy. And the plant food made more lily pads for us to place on, so that helps a lot. Day 15 is so hard. Even though the snake lily was incredibly slow, at least he can one-shot them. The fact that the ocean came all the way up beside the potato mines is actually crazy. Like the cold snapdragon can only shoot 2 tiles ahead, so it's literally impossible to kill anything above an imp. So yeah, another impossible one. They're going to keep piling up though, so stay ready for that. Squid's first appearance was on day 17, but it was very simple considering how hard he is going to make my life later. They're just easing me into torture. The level protecting the banana launchers is also surprisingly easy. The second time meeting the squid zombie was not fun at all because at the halfway mark my whole lawn was tentacleized already. So yeah, obviously this one is impossible. And so is level 27 for the same reasons. It's just my team has no range and the full water map is literally my kryptonite. Day 29 was an easy planar defense since it was only 1 flag. Day 30 is also very not possible. Unlike the Zomboid challenge, we do have enough plants and fast enough cooldowns to place a plant in front of all the crocodiles so they don't get pulled by the fishermen. However, none of our plants do enough damage to take care of them, so they basically just pull the cold snapdragon and eat it, then pull the crocodiles. So yeah, 4 impossible worlds in 1 video, and I thought we were doing good. Holy. Now modern day is something, alright. The world is way more chopped than all the other worlds, and I thought this was the easiest out of the big 3. Day 7 is already full of squid zombies. Again, like I literally can't catch a break around here. The plant food doesn't help because I use it to get out of impossible situations to even get to the part where the squid zombies are, so everything about this level is crazy and actually baffling how one could go through this though. Not to mention I can't even use Dragon Brute because of the jesters. Day 10 wasn't too crazy, but there was a crazy amount of robots, but enough plant food to squeak by. Day 15 was a little tricky because every attempt I lost the top lane, and at the end a balloon zombie got through. Also, balloon zombies are like crazy strong for like no reason and take multiple cold snapdragons to take them out. But yeah, we had to keep our top lawnmower to take out the final balloon zombie and get out of there with our primal nuts. Day 17 was an easy level with the arcade zombies. Now the football zombies, they are way too difficult. First, we're going to need plant food to take him out every time. Second, he runs at Mach speed and it guarantees we lose a plant to those freaking fools. And day 23 has squids. So day 21, day 23, day 24, day 29, and day 30 are all impossible for the same football zombie and squids reason. Especially day 30, which if anyone can beat this bro, I will actually do anything to you. So the first 8 worlds have 0 losses, but the last 3 have like 11 in total. More than the zomboids, even with the promising start we had. It's kind of insane to think about actually. It's just like we can't deal with like any like actual like good zombies, I'm not gonna lie. And also the dinosaurs just kind of screwed us over. I probably will never use these plants again just because of how they made me feel and how I will feel for the rest of my life, I guess. Now I'm not gonna lie, but you can still use them, I guess. Just I won't be anymore. And you can feel my pain while you're at it. My God.